Welcome to an episode of Tangentially Related, a podcast that's like a phone call with your bestie. I'm Laina, and I'm here with my bestie.
I'm Gina.
And we're gonna have a little chat today. I am the one who is responsible for this topic, so we'll see
Yes.
where this goes.
It's funny because I know a few things that I want to talk to you about that I'm like, I don't know where those conversations are going to go. But we never do anyway. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's be real. Every day we talk to each other is kind of like a what
hmm
situation where it's like, who knows?
For real. Lately, I feel like we keep showing off our mail. That's a hot one for us. We just keep getting packages and we're like, look at this. Let me tell you about this thing.
Okay, so for a minute, I know that I'm distracting us already. You went with mail as an Mail. I went
Stop.
with Male, and I was like, girl, I don't have one of those.
This is my mail. He is tall and does things sometimes. Look at him. He can sit. He can stand. That's so funny.
My brain was like listening to you and just not computing until you said packages, and then I was like, oh, yes, yes, yes.
No, oh
That
my
makes way
God.
more sense.
This is my mail. No, that's gonna just keep cracking me up. Yeah, literally packages, fun mail, things that we ordered. That's what I was
hmm
talking about.
Oh, okay. Reeling it back in.
Yes.
Sometimes this happens when something happens in real life, and I was like, oh, I want to talk to you about this. And then I was like, wait, this is a good idea to talk on the podcast. So I
hmm
will wait and just like hover. And this is one that's been hovering for a little bit. And I was like, I'm really excited.
Okay, I'm ready.
I was down a YouTube rabbit hole, as one does, and there was this short that I came across that inspired this question, and I'm stealing it. The question is, what book, TV, or movie character is most like you, and why?
Okay. I love this. I think it'll be so hard to pick one.
I think this is going to be like a favorites movie things with me, and I swear this is related.
That's where I'm going. Yeah.
Because we've had this discussion where it's like, I can name my favorite movie
hmm
instantaneously, which is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
hmm
You cannot name a better movie, like the OG
Yeah,
with Gene Wilder.
we love.
After that, I couldn't rank movies because there's just so many movies that I absolutely love.
Oh yeah. I've got 20 films in my top 10.
And you're just like, wow, that doesn't make sense. But at
hmm
the same time, for like internally, it makes perfect sense because you're just like, they're all just so good in different ways and all the things.
Yes.
This question is very much was like that for me.
hmm
So now I'm kind of intrigued. Like, do you have like one that you're like instantly like, yes, but then you're thinking of a bunch of others? Or is it like a couple that you're just like, nope, this is it?
It's funny, yeah, the who I think of right away is from my favorite movie. So yeah, this is like a favorite movies thing for me. But my favorite film is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Such a good movie.
And I love Kate Winslet's character, Clementine,
hmm
and I relate to her so much that yeah, I think that is a character that is a lot like me or that I really identify with.
That's so interesting. I know that's your favorite movie, but I
hmm
never would have picked that character because Clementine is such an interesting character
hmm
in general. Not that you're not interesting, that is not what I meant.
I was like, and you're really boring, so
You're so boring. That's why I keep you in my life constantly. No, 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 no. Well, it's because she's a very complicated character. Not that saying you're simple or anything,
hmm
but it's how do I preface this? The way that I see Clementine is not the way that I see you. So the fact that you see yourself in her is fascinating to me.
hmm
That's what I mean by all of this.
No, yeah, yeah. I figured that's where you were going was just that that's not what you picture.
I'm not being an asshole, I promise.
But she's so cool and you're like not that cool.
You're not. No, 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 no. Well, no, but I'm genuinely curious because I will freely admit it's been a hot minute since I've seen this movie, as
hmm
fantastic as it is. It's also kind of a hard watch.
Yeah. hmm
Unless you're like a two and great and you're like, life's fantastic. I don't mind watching sad things.
Right.
Which, I'm sorry, the world is on fire and no, I can't, nope. Mm-mm.
hmm
In my brain, she is kind of a tragic character.
No, I could totally see that. And I think a part of me is like, girl, same. I'm even pulling up quotes because there are just some really good lines from Clementine that I just, oh my gosh, just like pierce my soul.
hmm
She says at one part when she's talking to Joel, which I guess, she kind of is for most of the movie, but she says, sometimes I don't think people realize how lonely it is to be a kid. Like you don't matter. And I was a lonely kid. That's one of them that really gets me. She talks about being an open book, and she's trying to get Joel to also share, and it frustrates her that he doesn't. I've 1,000% been there. I think when it comes to male female relationships, though, lots of women
Mm-hmm.
have definitely been there. Yeah, there's so many good ones. And I think it's, she has this line that's like, guys think that I'm exciting and like that I'm gonna make them feel alive. And there are times where like I think I have been the maybe more interesting, exciting, like, ooh, what is this girl gonna do next?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing for someone. And I think that's like all it was like I was just fun and different because I've very much had my own interests and was my own person, even from a young age,
Mm-hmm.
that like, yeah, I was this exciting thing that was gonna make them more alive. She says, I'm just looking for my own peace of mind. Don't assign me yours. So good.
The more you talk about it, the more I get it. Because you are a very free spirit is such a weird way to say it, but it's the best phrase I could think of in the moment where you really do like, yes, I don't always know what you're gonna do, and that's great, and I love that.
Yeah.
But I can also see in a sense why it's exhausting to have that expectation thrust upon you to be the constant source of entertainment
Mm-hmm.
and spontaneity in someone's life. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like literally that. And the freedom is important to me
Hmm.
and the independence, and it is for Clementine. Also, I have been in relationship situations like she has, so I think that's also another thing that I agree with where like something is so fun and exciting and then you sort of get bored and then things fizzle out and you're not really sure why, and then that person starts to annoy you.
Hmm.
I think a lot of that, especially when I was younger, was maybe just not realizing that maybe these people for me were more hyperfixations than love interests.
Oh,
Bummer. But
that's so interesting.
yeah, I think it was that. I knew this about myself that I was like, man, I get really attached to people. I remember identifying this even as a teenager and was like, geez, what is wrong with me? I don't think it was necessarily that I was like looking for love so bad and all of these things. Although, of course, like being a young girl and like having a special partner, like all of the movies tell you that
Hmm.
having a boyfriend is important.
Is like the best thing in the
Yeah,
world.
and is a big deal. Yeah, so I think there was maybe some part of that, but also I just think I maybe hyperfixated on people, kind of like I did movies and books and shit like that.
No, but that's so interesting. Now my brain is like recognizing patterns in my own life where I was like, because I have the same thing where I hyperfixate on things and I never really thought about like, oh my gosh, I do that with people too.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much in the romantic sense because it's never been a huge part of my drive
Mhm.
in life like a lot of other people have.
Yeah.
But I would get like hyper focused on a person, especially when I was younger. People were like, oh, you have a crush on that. I was like, no, they're just cool.
No, I just think they're really interesting. They're really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's just so fascinating that I
Mhm.
never put two and two together.
I know it.
Weird.
Isn't it so wild when you realize that
Mm-hmm.
hyperfixations can also be on people?
On people.
And there are some people that I think were absolutely worth it because they were just so wonderful and fascinating, and I learned a lot about them. Chances are I hyperfixated because they were so different than me.
Mm-hmm.
And then other times, especially when it was sort of in the crush realm, where I was like, I hyperfixated on someone that was not worth my time.
It's
Like,
like you were not worth the mental bandwidth that this took up.
mm-hmm. And yeah, if you knew it and if we went out on a date and whatever, like, don't think you're hot shit, okay? Because I also hyperfixate on SpaghettiOs. Like,
And if here's the thing, and if SpaghettiOs hyperfixation was better than you, that says more about you than
I'm just
anything
saying.
else. Doesn't say anything about me. That's about you. Although I would murder a can of SpaghettiOs right now. Like that sounds so good.
Right? Oh, I love SpaghettiOs. Specifically, SpaghettiOs and meatballs. That's my favorite.
Oh, so good.
Not that I think Clementine was hyperfixating on Joel, but I just see that maybe possibly being a part of her character in relationships with other people.
Hmm.
It's so hard to say if that relationship started as a hyperfixation. I don't think so. And if you've seen the movie, you might realize that it is sort of hard to pinpoint the very start of their relationship, so I'll try not to spoil too much.
That movie has been out for so long.
True.
Anybody who hasn't seen it, it's your own damn fault, okay?
Yeah, you have had over 20 years to watch that movie.
This is your own fault. Spoil away, lady. Jeez.
Okay, so tiny-ish spoiler. We do see her in more than one relationship. She gets with this guy named Patrick, played by Elijah Wood.
Hmm.
Moment for Elijah Wood. I think that that is kind of a hyperfixation, but also he isn't being himself either. He's just like playing to her interests and the information that he knows about her. So I guess for anyone, it would be easy to be drawn to this person that has basically created themselves for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that, I don't know. Clementine was just the character that I thought of right away. I think that maybe is part of why, well, maybe a big part of why I like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind so much is a lot of it is my love for her.
And that makes sense.
What book, TV, or movie character would you say is most like you?
This question was asked of me by someone, and my answer through them. Although I feel like we've talked about this show, and I don't think you've seen it in its entirety, so this might be a little
Oh
problematic.
no! Okay.
No, no, it's fine.
All right.
Because you know I'm rewatching Supernatural right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it might throw people because it's definitely a man character. I have always identified so deeply with Dean Winchester. It's probably not healthy.
Okay.
Yes.
So the one that is not Jared Padalecki.
Correct.
Okay.
So and what's really funny is he's the older brother, and as the youngest child, that is just one of those things where like it immediately makes people confused.
Yeah.
My family dynamic has always been a little odd.
Mm-hmm. But also there are decent age gaps in your line of siblings. While
Yeah.
you might fit some of the youngest sibling, youngest child type tropes, also kind of not because you weren't always growing up with each other either.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No, that's very, very true because we're all very, very spread out.
mm-hmm.
As for Dean Winchester, anybody who has seen the show who is listening is probably like, "Oh boy, she is fucking messed up." And the answer
They're
is
like,
yes.
oh, she has problems.
Honestly, now, okay, and this, I do need to preface this where, like, I haven't seen the entirety of the series. I'm watching it now.
Mhm.
So this is like the first, I don't know, 9 seasons of the 15 that there are. But the reason why is I should have thought about this before because I love how I was like, I asked this question and then didn't prep.
I'm really just like waiting for you to be like, because I'm hot and I fight demons. So,
Yes, 100%. It's really funny is like there are so many things about me and Dean Winchester that are like polar opposites. He sleeps around, which is fine. I don't judge. I'm on the ace spectrum.
mhm.
He's really good at lying. I can't lie for shit. Like that sort of thing. But the really core of his character is that he is a protector that is very nurturing at the expense of himself.
Mm.
Always. He will always give every last drop of himself for the people that he loves and never expect it in return. Ever.
Yeah.
And he almost always rejects it and says, "Why would you do that? I'm not worth it."
Mm.
As sad as that sounds, it's something that's always really resonated with me because, like, yes, I see myself so deeply in that where it's like,
Mhm.
of course I would give absolutely everything for the people that I love and are closest to me. Why would they ever do that for me, though? Like, that's absurd. I would never expect that.
That is so wild. No, yeah, I get that though. You just have different expectations for yourself than you do for other people.
100%.
You know, someone needs something, like, I gotta be there.
Yeah.
But not thinking that they are the same way for you. The protector at the expense of themselves, as you're describing that, I'm like, even though I don't know Supernatural very well, let alone Dean, that is you though. For sure. Like the protector doing things for other people first.
Mm-hmm.
You are much further down on the priority list, quite literally at the bottom sometimes.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
You know, like I get it, but also sometimes I'm like, girl, knock it off.
Fucking stop it.
Stop it. Put yourself up on the list.
Hey, I'm in therapy. I'm getting better.
See, so
like,
it's
Dean
good.
Winchester, go to therapy.
Right, you're like, I'm Dean if he went to therapy.
If he went to therapy. Well, I mean, I'm working on it. Well, and to be completely transparent, there are some very negative aspects of Dean's personality that I also relate to very deeply.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the gender thing comes a little bit into it. Dean does have explosive anger, which I also struggle with, but because I was raised
Mm-hmm.
with the expectations of as a woman in our society, I've been trained to tamper that down. But I do have very explosive anger once I reach my boiling point.
Yeah.
Because it's a TV show, and it's always like, the apocalypse, the world's ending, everyone's dead or dying. For me, obviously, the apocalypse isn't happening, but it gets so bad for me personally, and then it's an explosive bout of anger. Yes, I protect people at the expense of myself, but the minute I get to that point where I can't do it anymore, it's ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great to be a protector, probably not at the expense of yourself, and like really love people and be willing to do everything for them and not really expect much in return.
Mm-hmm.
The last part is not super healthy, but there are really big downsides to that, where it's like, yeah, I push things down like nobody's business.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do it for too long, it ain't pretty.
Yeah.
For all the shit that it gets for being a CW show, the actors are very talented.
Right. Nothing wrong with a good old CW show.
I know, right? Like, I always forget, this is also very off topic. Veronica Mars was a
I was
CW
thinking
show.
Veronica Mars.
That's a great show.
Hell yes. Yes, I might rewatch it. We'll see. But
Oh, you should. It's so good. I do that every couple
so
years because it's
good.
just so good. Jensen Ackles does an excellent job of portraying that. And just, again, it's just like, and this is why it's so fascinating when people are just like, I don't need to see myself on screen. Like, usually it's talking about, like, representation and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But to be able to see a character that, like, instantly, like, made the ugly parts of myself feel seen, and I was like, ooh, that's weirdly satisfying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, ooh, okay. And you learn stuff about yourself.
I think that's it. Yeah. It's like you see a character that is cool and that you like, and yet they do also have some of those more negative aspects too.
Mm-hmm.
As we were talking about sort of like the negative sides of Dean that you relate to, I was sort of thinking of the same things with Clementine. I mean, it could be a positive or a negative that sometimes she is just like she can be really impulsive.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it depends on the thing, but sometimes, yes, also impulsive. The self doubt, sometimes being hot and cold. And she's very passionate, which, like, can be a good thing, but then there are other times that it's like maybe not the right intensity for the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think there is, like you said, just something so nice, so cool about seeing the ugly parts of yourself reflected in a character.
Yeah, and especially in a way that isn't the bad guy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, no, these are just complicated characters that have downsides because, like, every human has bad parts to them. And I say bad in the loosest of terms, where it's like, there are the parts of yourself that need to be managed, understood, and, like, handled. Because here's the thing, you can be as impulsive as you want, and as long as you know that about yourself and know how to manage it in a way where you're not negatively impacting people, like being an asshole, like, that's fine. But it does take management. For me, I know that my explosive anger is good for nobody. So yay therapy. I've gotten a lot better at being like, okay, if I feel myself getting to that point, I address it before I explode. That sounds great.
Yeah, no, therapy has helped me with some of those kinds of things too, with the self-doubt and things like that.
We're just one giant commercial for therapy. It's like, hello everybody, find a therapist.
Yeah, today's giant takeaway. Go to therapy. It works. It's good stuff. Even if you're like, I don't have a sole reason, maybe you just have little tiny reasons. Okay, I think everyone could benefit from therapy. So
you're supposed to go for a yearly, like, medical checkup. I feel like you should have, like, minimum. You should have, like, an annual therapy check-in. Like, everybody.
Honestly.
Maybe we could catch some psychopaths before they get down the rabbit hole.
For real. But if you get in a therapy session and maybe you say something in that safe space that you haven't vocalized out loud before, that could be further enlightenment for your life, for how you conduct yourself. Maybe give you some insight into who you are in your own relationships. I really think therapy is so good for everyone. You using the word check-in is so good.
Yeah.
Because I remember I thought of, like, couples therapy, couples counseling so differently when I spoke to a couple one time that I always thought was doing great. So for them to tell me that they were in counseling, I remember immediately being like, wait, what? But you guys are doing so good. Because they were in therapy. That's why they were doing good. Because they were always working on their communication. And they would do a check-in. At that time, I want to say they had done, like, monthly sessions before. And this was, like, I think a quarterly check-in that they told me, that they were like, oh yeah, we just do, like, a little therapy check-in every 3 months.
That's amazing.
That was so brilliant.
So many couples could benefit from that. Oh my gosh.
That changed the game for me, where I was like, okay, I see this so differently now. And just to have this, like, appointment in the books where we have this check-in, there is a professional party here to mandate the whole thing.
I need an adult in this situation. I would like a professional
Yes.
adult to help with this relationship.
Yes, and that's how like I view therapy too, is like I got to go to the professionals.
Yeah.
Let me see someone that knows more than I do. Just I don't know, it's so mind-blowing to me that other people don't think of it that way. No, no, no. You were talking to someone who is trained, who is licensed. This is good.
They are a professional.
Yeah, this isn't just like getting advice from the kid that sits next to you in class or your weird coworker.
Yeah.
No, this is a professional in the field.
Here's the thing. Even when you have like a good support network, like
Yeah.
I talk to you about like everything. I also still go to therapy because
Yeah.
I love you. You are not a therapist.
Right, literally.
And sometimes I need a professional who will pick up on what I'm not saying in addition to what I'm saying in a from a clinical perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I would never expect that of you. I actually get really, I don't want to say mad, but like annoyed when people are just like, I don't need to go to therapy. I have friends. And I was like, yes, you do have friends. And you should not expect your friends to be your therapist.
Oh, for real.
That's actually not fair.
Mm-hmm. And especially when it comes to the complaining and the venting of all the things, like, yeah, if you just like need to rant and like get it off your
That's
chest,
one thing.
I got you. If this is a pattern though, if there's a lot going on, that you have a lot to complain about, why are you always going to your friends and just like filling their ear with all of this crap? Like, don't you want to bring the best version of yourself to your friend group, to your partner, whoever? Take the issues to therapy, have a professional help you work through them, and then you'll be so much better. The next time you talk to your friends, you can talk about whatever cool thing you just got in the mail.
Yeah. Like we
instead of
do.
your other stuff. Exactly.
Yeah. I love that you said a like pattern because if there is a consistent pattern and you just go to your friends and complain, but it keeps happening, I was like, you are doing nothing to resolve the situation in which you're in. And I realize sometimes the actual circumstances can't be changed, but a therapist will help you change how you respond to your circumstances in a
Yes.
healthy way. Where it's like, it's work and effort. You can't expect your friends to be the manager of your mental work.
Oh,
That's
for real.
unfair.
Yeah.
There are going to be times, and this is something that I talk about with my therapist quite often, because I've been doing monthly, both for financial reasons and because I did a lot of work when I like moved across the country, ended up getting divorced, like all of those things. I actually don't know if I ever mentioned that on the podcast. I'm divorced.
It's part of the lore.
It's part of the lore. We'll drop it eventually. But I was going through a really like intense time in my life that I was seeing her weekly. And eventually I got to the point where it's like, I need a break. Like I've been doing a lot of work and I just kind of need to like not work for a little bit and like rest and recover before I dive back in. And luckily, I have had plenty of time to like rest and recover. And like this next year, her and I have talked, and I'm just like, I would like to go back to weekly because I want to work on these things. And then we'll kind of go from there. And she's like, okay, great. When we start, we're going to start with figuring out what it is, like, what are the checkpoints that will tell you that you don't need to go weekly anymore. And I was like, that's a great way because it's like, it's an end goal, it's a point, but it's like, it doesn't have to be like that all the time.
Yeah, I think some people assume that therapy is forever,
Forever.
and
Like,
it
no.
really does not have to be. It doesn't even have to be a year or months or whatever. I would say go into therapy and just be open about where you're at, how much you want to put into this. Even tell your therapist, if this is your first time and that I kind of just want to work through this in a few sessions, if that's okay. Or, what if I only did this for a couple months?
Yeah, even a couple months would be so helpful for some people. And I realize, unfortunately, because of the country we live in, not everyone can afford therapy. So I'm not, anybody who wants therapy and can't get it, I do not judge at all.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of a luxury, which is fucking stupid.
No, seriously.
I do think, like, so many people who could afford that luxury. I literally gagged in my mouth a little bit because I was like, therapy shouldn't be a luxury. But you know what I mean. But don't utilize it. It's just kind of irritating to me because I was like, so many people want and need this. And you could also benefit from it. And you're just like, no thanks.
Yeah.
It's like, excuse me, get your ass into therapy.
I can't believe that it took a global pandemic for more American insurance companies to start covering more forms of mental health resources and therapy, because yeah, I remember in 2020 almost immediately, like all at the same time, insurance covered more therapy options than it did before, and other people were seeing the same thing, which Okay, it was a good thing that came out of the pandemic, but you're telling me it took a global outbreak for American insurance to say, okay, I guess we can cover mental health services a little more than we did before.
And so it
What?
becomes a part of this episode as well. Capitalism is the bad guy.
Yay.
Because a lot of the expansion of coverage was because they could do telehealth therapy, and it was a way for
Mm-hmm.
them to still get money, so they covered more
That's
of it.
true. Wow.
And I hate capitalism.
It really wouldn't be an episode of Tangentially Related if we didn't bash capitalism just a little
It's
bit.
like, oh god, you're the worst.
I love that. That's almost the perfect note
Every time.
to end on, but I do have to say real quick when we were talking about what fictional characters are most like you and that we were gravitating towards our favorite pieces of cinema or whatever, I really wondered because you said Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is your favorite movie. I was like,
Yeah.
is that where she's gonna go? Who is she in Willy Wonka? And I was like,
Ooh.
I don't think Charlie.
No.
I was like, are you Willy Wonka?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
I
Because
love it.
honestly, if you think about it, I'm gonna get us on a tangent. If you think about it, Willy Wonka and Dean Winchester actually have quite a lot of common.
Stop. Wait. Oh my God. We need to make a Venn diagram of this.
Well, like, cause my first thing was weirdly enough the explosive anger because of the little bit at the end with Willy Wonka.
Uh-huh.
So there's that.
Yeah. You lose. You get nothing.
Nothing. But also, when you really look at Willy Wonka's character, he is a protector of his legacy and his creations and everything like that, where, like, that was the whole reason for the golden tickets. Is
Mm-hmm.
he wanted to protect what he had created
Yeah, absolutely.
and make sure it went to the right hands. Yeah, no, and like if you want to go movie and book, because Willy Wonka like gave his entire life for what he made. Like it was his
Mm-hmm.
whole purpose was to make candy and chocolate and like and to bring joy through that. And I was like, no, they're actually very similar characters. So I'm like, yeah,
I
it'd be Willy
love
Wonka,
this. Okay.
not Charlie. Charlie's too sweet. I'm an asshole.
Which is so funny. I was like, I don't know why I just immediately was like, I don't think you're Charlie.
Nope.
But if I am trying to figure out who I am in there, it maybe is Charlie.
Yeah, I could see you as being Charlie. You're a lot nicer than me.
I don't know if like that's the delineation like and also I think you're nice, but I get it. It is a
I'm nice to you.
all right, fair.
But no, I see how you could like identify with Charlie in other
Mhm.
aspects of his personality as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, so I think I would be Charlie. However, if I got to be in some sort of production of Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, I want to be Veruca Salt. I want to sing her song that I want the world.
Yep.
Yes.
I want the whole world.
Oh my god. Yes, 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 yes. I want to be that bratty kid who
Oh, it'd be so
wants the
fun.
goose that lays golden eggs and I want to punch things and I want the solo and yeah, I just think that
Yes.
would be so fun.
Okay, one thing about that song. I never understood the bean feast. I don't get it. Please explain what a bean feast is.
Oh, I thought you were about to explain. I was like, wait, do tell me. I know, right? Yeah, she says, I want a feast. I want a bean feast.
Like what?
What?
Like is it okay? Is this like my suggested potato night where you just like bring all the different types and of potatoes, where it's like French fries, mashed potatoes, is like all the different types of beans because there's actually a lot. Like you could just like do coffee beverages because they come from coffee beans. You could do like
Yeah.
oh what I had other thoughts too, but I was like, and if it's a bean, is it just legumes or is it like just beans? I need these rules.
No, yeah, this
delineated.
is literally my interpretation. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we'll do pinto, black, like different kinds of legumes.
All of them.
As I'm Googling this now, because I've actually never thought to look this up, I have been bewildered, but not to the point of actually doing research. Okay, I looked this up. First of all, I typed bean space feast. It is one word. Who knew?
Oh, it's an actual thing?
This is a word. What?
Wow.
It says,
Okay.
according to the dictionary, a celebratory party with plentiful food and drink.
What does
What?
that have to do with beans?
The term originally denoted an annual dinner given to employees by their employers where beans and bacon were regarded as an indispensable dish in the early 19th century.
I
What?
what?
Bacon, I
Okay.
understand, unless they're trying to say beans with bacon, but beans, People could have grown their own beans.
Yeah. Although, okay, so now in my brain, I immediately went to like bean counters, which is like a type of employee because it's like
Ah,
money people.
yes.
So I was like, is a bean feast now? Is that where the employee feast thing comes in, or employee party sort of comes in, or am I grasping at straws to try to make this make sense?
Right.
Who knows?
Huh.
Well, we learned something today
Look at us learning things.
that a bean feast is an actual thing and not just a
And
meal
not a feast of beans.
made of all beans.
Which, I would attend both a bean space feast and a bean feast.
Bean feast. Yeah, I mean, I'll go anywhere once.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
exactly. Yeah, I'll be there.
Try anything once.
All right.
Oh, Willy Wonka.
Oh, Willy
Teaching
Wonka.
us things decades
Who
after
knew? Who'd have
release.
thought?
Love that.
This is what you get when you listen to an episode of Tangentially Related.
Utter nonsense.
We'll tell you about the traumatic characters that we relate to.
Hmm.
Also, a little dice of education along the way. We'll advocate for you going to therapy, and then together we will learn about bean feasts. What a frickin' day.
What a time.
Well, thank you so much for listening. Please check us out on the socials, all of the things. Come back next week, because somehow I'm in charge of picking a topic, and I don't know how I'm going to follow this. We'll see what I do next week. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll catch you on the next one.